June 2025, New York City. The political ground just cracked wide open. The mayoral primary, usually a playground for the establishment, just got rocked by a 33-year-old Democratic socialist from Queens. The old guard? Stunned. The city's power brokers? Speechless. The expected winner, a moderate backed by real estate and big media, was supposed to coast. Instead, a grassroots movement flipped the script. This wasn't about fancy fundraisers. It was about energy on the streets and community centers and all over social media. Polls missed it, pundits ignored it. The establishment never saw it coming. Election night, news anchors baffled, numbers defying expectations, neighborhoods with low turnout suddenly surging. Young people, people of color, working class families, they all showed up. The city didn't just pick a new mayor, it chose a new direction. This is bigger than New York. If it can happen here, it can happen anywhere. The political landscape is shifting. What seemed impossible is now reality. A candidate who calls himself a socialist just won the biggest prize in urban politics. The old gatekeepers are losing their grip. A new generation is rewriting the rules of power in America. Buckle up, the game has changed. Meet Zoran Mamdani. Zoran Mamdani, not your typical politician. He's a housing counselor, hip-hop artist, aka Mr. Cardamom, and state assemblyman from Astoria, Queens. Son of filmmaker Mira Nair and academic Mahmoud Mamdani, he grew up with a global perspective. But his politics? Purely local, shaped by fighting evictions and helping tenants. He saw families pushed out while luxury condos rose. That's what drove him into politics. In 2020, he ran for state assembly, a long shot. He won by knocking on doors and talking real issues: housing, transit, police accountability. That win proved his message resonated with those ignored by the establishment. Yes, his family's fame opened doors, but he used his platform to push for taxing the rich and canceling rent. He embraced his democratic socialist identity, championing bold policies. Instead of playing it safe, he challenged the status quo head-on. He showed you can come from privilege and still fight for the working class. Mamdani's authenticity set him apart. He wasn't afraid to be radical. He built a movement, not just a campaign. That's how he became the face of New York's political earthquake. How did Mamdani win? Not with big donors or TV ads, but with an army of young, diverse volunteers. They turned politics into a cultural event, organizing, creating viral content, and making it cool to care. His platform? Unapologetically progressive, massive social housing, a Green New Deal for NYC, and reimagining public safety. He called for shifting funds from policing to mental health, youth programs, and community solutions. These weren't tweaks, they were bold, revolutionary ideas. Controversy followed, especially over his support for BDS and calls to defund the police. Critics labeled him divisive and dangerous. Attack ads painted him as a radical threat. But the backlash only energized his supporters. Establishment attacks became a badge of honor, proof he was shaking up the system. His campaign doubled down, explaining policies directly to voters. They argued the old ways had failed. What was meant to be a weakness became a core strength. Mamdani's authenticity and clarity cut through the noise. That's how he won over a city ready for change. Mamdani's victory sent shockwaves through the political world. The city's power brokers panicked. Progressives celebrated a new blueprint for urban politics. Moderates and conservatives warned of a leftward lurch. But this win is bigger than one man. It's a generational shift. Young people's radical ideas, climate justice, housing as a right, racial equity, are now winning issues. The old rules, be centrist, court big money, avoid controversy, are breaking down. But the fight isn't over. Governing New York is a whole new challenge. The real estate lobby, police unions, and billionaires will push back hard. The system resists change. Is New York ready for this? Is this the start of a new era, or just a blip? Mamdani won the battle for City Hall. But the war for New York's soul is just beginning. The world is watching. No pressure, Zoran.